A 14-hour workday for the software industry in Karnataka. Does that sound feasible? It's currently 12 hours, 10 hours plus 2 hours overtime, but a proposal to expand this to 14 hours in line with what Infosys founder Narayan Murthy had proposed just 1 year ago has set ablaze the conversation over the working hours of Karnataka's most cutting-edge sector, the infotech sector. Well, the Siddaramaiah government appears to be in a mood to dabble with everything in the private sector. After first proposing a quota for Kannada locals in private sector jobs and then embarrassingly pulling that proposal and saying, no, we haven't announced it yet, we are still to discuss it. Now they are apparently contemplating an increase in the working hours, something which could have many effects. Those who argue for it say it will boost productivity. Those who argue against it say it will actually lead to widespread unemployment within the IT sector because of the demands on time of techies and software professionals and the logistics of shifts actually reducing. You're going to see our screen explain all of this to you, but joining me live, someone who has spoken about this many times before, former Deputy Chief Minister of Karnataka, BJP MLA and former Minister in a BJP government Karnataka, Mr. Ashwath Narayan is with us. Dr. Narayan, thank you very much for being with me and my apologies for keeping you waiting. This IT sector working hour increase proposal, how do you see this? There has been talk off and on about this kind of thing, but there has been an almost unified response from the industry saying they don't want it and they don't like it.
I feel it is totally unreasonable proposal. From where it has come, we are really surprised to hear this. The 12-hour shift itself was too much of a burden for anybody to bear with it. So I feel this 14-hour proposal is no way practical or feasible. I don't think so. The government they can't even think of considering this kind of proposal. Even if it is there, they should not consider. I think it's not fair. Even for the employees who are going to work, it is not fair. And I think totally it should be rejected. 12 hours itself is a good enough maximum what we can, make people work in any of the sector. Let it be any sector. 12 hours is more than enough. And more so if you keep watching computers or the vision or the screen for more than 12 hours, how can you make them work more than 12 hours? It's not practically feasible. I don't think so. Any government that has got sense can consider this more than 12 hours.
And sir, the private sector, the IT sector in general is already slightly nervous by the different announcements being made by the Siddaramaiah government. Last week, it was the quota for, Kannada locals. Then they removed that proposal saying we have not proposed it, we are still discussing it. Now this whole proposal over expansion of work hours, this is sending out a slightly uncertain signal of lack of clarity as far as the private sector in Karnataka is concerned. Is that an area of concern?
Yeah, definitely yes. Definitely yes. The government should not have taken up this proposal. Since they were facing a lot of scam, lot of issues, they wanted to just divert the entire attention of the government. So they came out with this kind of new proposal, which is not fair. See, as a state, we have been a very progressive state. We need to attract talent from across the country, and we need to work as one nation. Probably in this direction, it was not fair. We have a lot of opportunities when it comes to the land acquisition. We can insist on the companies wherever we provide land. We can insist on whatever terms and conditions we want. And wherever we provide incentives, there's employment incentives, there's electronic policy incentives are there. All these places, definitely we can put a lot of conditions. But overall, and having straight away coming out with a bill, putting down that so-and-so percentage only is allowed, remaining people, non-Kannadigas are not allowed. It's not fair. None of the industries can sustain. Probably in this direction, we have an employment exchange. We throw that mandatory recruitment should happen. They could have made a use of all this policy and employment exchange and more so the skilling. Even for the kind of salary what is being paid by this company, most other than the IT industry, rest remaining all the call centers or the electronic industry, the salary is not that attractive for anybody to come and migrate, settle down, pay this kind of cost is not affordable. Probably there's a mismatch. Even the governments have not been doing the right job skilling and preparing the local manpower in the terms of training and skilling them to take the jobs and be more productive. If you don't make anybody productive, how if any person is not engaged, what will happen to the society, what kind of habits you're going to pick up, what kind of engagement you'll be into. It's very not in favorable of the society. We need to engage every person probably in this direction. The governments have been only talking, not working. They need to work. They need to be more focused. They should know what they're doing. Probably they should assess how many people are employed, not employed, what is the skill levels of the people. They need to assess. This assessment is not there. They don't have the feedback. They don't measure, and nothing works. The governance as such, it is completely failed, and the government is just making politics, just politically a lip service. Basically, it's a lip service, not concerned about anybody. Probably they can do wonders. They can do better. They can ensure that each and every person is productive. Then the question of looking elsewhere doesn't arise.
Very, very important points. And the point you raised is an important one, Dr.
Required.
Absolutely. And in terms of whether this is a diversionary tactic to take attention away from the multiple scams or scam allegations that have landed at Mr. Siddaramaia's door is also an issue that we've been highlighting here on India Today. Thank you very much, Dr. Ashwath Narayan, for your time here on India Today. Apologies once again for making you wait. This is a contentious proposal that has sparked a heated debate in Karnataka's IT sector, perhaps the most contentious in a very, very long time. Watch this report for all the details.
14-hour work days for those in IT, IT-enabled services and BPOs. That's the proposal submitted by IT firms in Karnataka to the state government. Sources say the Karnataka government is considering amending the Karnataka Shops and Commercial Establishments Act 1961, and that the IT companies want their proposal to be included in the amendment, which would legally extend work hours from 9 to 14 hours, 12 hours plus 2 hours of overtime. According to the present labour laws, 9 hours is the permitted working hour duration, while an additional hour is allowed as overtime. The proposal is likely to be discussed by the Siddaramaiah cabinet.
No, let anyone, I may oppose, you may oppose. We have to take them into conference. It is, the working hours will be different from the outer part of the country on the international timings. So we will discuss with them. We will call all of them and look at, we want them to have a very peace atmosphere.
The industries are pressurizing, asking for this they want. So obviously since the pressurization is from the industries there, so this bill has come to us. Still we are evaluating from the Labour Department. Now it's an open domain, right? People are free, so they express for everything. So I want all the big heads on this to be debated, express their view. As a department we will look into what has to be done.
Boys and girls of that IT industry work more than 8 hours. Keeping that in view, to facilitate and to make them feel that they are going by law also, the particular bill is now brought, and it is to convenience the industry and also employees.
How many health issues are there in IT sector employees? Which IT sector who has at least 5 years experience? Who doesn't have back pain?
The move to extend working hours has been met with strong resistance from the Karnataka State IT Employees Union.
Everyone has mental health issues.
Up to 55% of the employees are facing issues such as this one back pain, neck pain, or this one vitamin D deficiency, etc. And one more interesting study from the WHO and ILO, World Health Organization and International Labour Organization combined, had studied that dying due to stroke chances have been observed in like employees who are working more than 55 hours, as well as 17% more chance of risk of dying due to heart diseases is been observed.
The Trade Association of Indian IT Industry, NASSCOM, says it has not requested a 14-hour workday limit or a 70-hour work week. The organization says it fully supports the 48-hour work week, which is the standard across the country.
Hearing this new proposal, in each shift, having 14 hours, it is completely unreasonable. The 12-hour shift was brought in so that the factory can work in 2 shifts, not in 3 shifts. Not to have a maximum working hours, and they should stick on to the maximum of 12-hour working shift, not to 14 hours.
See, that issue needs to be discussed. My request to the Honorable Chief Minister is, see, Bengaluru is a global hub, it's an IT hub. Whatever decision that needs to be taken regarding to IT and other department, private sector, every stakeholder has to be taken into confidence. Chief Minister cannot take decision unilaterally.
After Kannada quota in private jobs, the proposal for 14-hour work week has triggered another storm in Karnataka. With Sagai Raj and Anaga Kesav in Bengaluru, Bureau Report, India Today.
And now they want to make it even more.
And remember, the 70-hour week isn't something that's come out of nowhere. A founder of Infosys, Narayan Murthy, a famous son of Karnataka, who first triggered that entire debate last year, claiming it would boost India's economy, is where this narrative actually began. Listen into what he had said last year.
Our youngsters must say, this is my country. I want to work 70 hours a week. You know, this is exactly what Germans and Japanese did after the Second World War.
Yes.
The German leader, he sat down with the German leaders, corporate leaders, and he said, we have to rebuild, and that's your job. And they made sure that every German worked extra hours for a certain number of years.